What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode on Proven Power Cycles. For those who don't know me, I'm Eric. We got Sean behind me in the back, and then we got Lewis right over here. On this episode, this is going to be kind of a new thing that we're going to go and do from here on out, right? So this is going to be solely a featured video on this ZX14R. What we are doing is a Proven Power Stage 1 turbo kit, okay? And so for the record, this kit is going to include an RCC Stage 1 turbo kit, all right? For now. Eventually that will change, but for now we are utilizing an RCC Stage 1 kit. This is gonna be a combination of that turbo kit and our little touch on top of that, all right? So this is gonna be a stock motor for the most part. We're gonna upgrade the valve springs. We got clutch mods, oiling mods, and that's about it as far as the modifications go inside the actual engine. And that is solely for the safety of the motor. None of that stuff is really gonna give you more horsepower. That's just to prevent anything from breaking as we're kind of pushing these bikes. This is kind of like the safety net that we're gonna do to this bike. So right now, this particular bike, it has some bolt-on mods, as you guys can see. It's got the Brock's Alien Head exhaust. I believe he's got an air filter in there, but that's about it. He is on extension blocks. I want to say these are about probably what, 10 inches over, something like that. 10 inches over stock. So he's probably sitting at around a 68-inch wheelbase or so. It kind of looks like 67, 68-inch wheelbase. So just to kind of give you an idea, guys. So normally these bikes make about 260 horsepower on pump gas. It's going to be interesting to see because he's on these extension blocks, not really sure. And he's also, is that a hookup? Yeah, so he's on a hookup also. So he's probably not going to make the most power on this setup, but just to give you guys an idea, we'll throw this thing on the dyno. We'll show you guys what it's sitting at currently. And that way we can show you guys the before and after, because again, he's already got some work done to the bike. I believe it's already been tuned. I don't know. I think he's got a power commander in there. I'll confirm all of this when we get it on the dyno and actually run through it. But right now, this is the bike, the way it's sitting, and I just wanted to show you guys in its depth so that when we get plugging away on it, when we finish it, you guys can get an overall view of how it's going to look whenever it's finished. We are going to see what this factory fuel system can do. We're going to kind of push it to its limits, kind of see what it can do. Again, now this guy's not looking for all the power in the world. He's already admitted to us. He doesn't want anything really crazy. This is more of a around town bike. He just wants a turbo street bike that's just fun to drive around. He's an older gentleman. It's not like he's 25 years old and he's trying to prove everything to the world. So we have the ZX14R on the dyno. We're getting ready to baseline it, and we noticed a few things as we were just warming up the bike. He's got an active oil leak on the left-hand side, right by the header. We noticed a little bit of smoke coming out while we were warming it up, and we went over there. It's not a major ordeal. It looks like it's going to be from either the valve cover or one of the spark plug kind of seals where the pair valve and the spark plug, there's a seal that goes in there. Kind of like another gasket, and basically that looks like it's actively leaking, so it's burning a little bit of oil. But we're getting ready. We just got done warming it up, so we're getting ready to do a 3-puller and get our good baseline down, so that way we can
turbo this thing already.
a little bit.
Give it to me.
A little bit. So we're gonna fire it up again and get those 3-pullers knocked out real quick. All right, here we go. Real quick, before we do this run, or before we do this 3-puller, I just wanted to show you right there on that exhaust stud coming out from the head, that's where it's actively leaking. All right, so if you can kind of see the buildup now. You can kind of see on the exhaust spring right there. That's fresh oil coming out of the head, so it'll start to smoke here in just a little bit. You know, but again, that's kind of where one of the leaks are coming from. When we get this motor out, or at least stripped down, we're gonna dive a little deeper and see if there's anything else going on before we throw this turbo kit on. Last thing we want to do is pop a motor or have issues with this motor before it leaves. So something interesting, guys. I wanted to show you this because this is exactly why I like to baseline bikes. This right here. Well, not this exact reason, but one of the reasons. Let me get this down. We didn't even get air fuel because quite honestly, it's kind of irrelevant since we're gonna slap a turbo kit and redo all this. But look what happened. Our baseline was 183, then we dropped down to 181, then we dropped down to 178, then we dropped down to 174. Notice how every time it was losing power. So red, blue, green, yellow, right? This right here is an indication of either tire spin or we're having a clutch issue. I'm gonna lean towards the clutch issue because he's on a shinko hookup, and a lot of times these shinko hookups, they do not spin on the dyno, okay? It's very hard to get them to spin on the dyno. Very soft compound tires. So, and I was looking at the mile an hour on the Speedo, and it was holding still even though the RPMs were wrapping up. Then it would catch and the RPM would, or the mile an hour would jump. So that's, again, that's kind of a clear indication that we're having a clutch slippage issue. So we're gonna have to go in. We might be replacing some fibers in here while we're going through and doing this whole turbo kit and all that jazz. So we got some things that we need to fix. We're gonna do that while we're installing this turbo kit. So, but I wanted to show you guys this. This is exactly why I like to baseline the bikes, to see if there's any other issue going on before we start doing the work that we need to do. So we're gonna get this thing off the dyno. We're gonna start taking it apart. Lewis is gonna start going through this thing and kind of looking at all the things that we need to go through and go from there. Start installing a turbo kit, dropping the motor, installing all the engine mods and everything while we're in there. And yeah, we're gonna go from there. We're gonna make this thing badass. So
We gotta make some whistling noises.
make some expensive kazoo noises. All right, guys, so Lewis had the cylinder head all off, and he got the, here we go. He got the Carpenter valve springs all in there. So we have 60-pound springs, and he's just reassembling everything with all the new gaskets. He did end up needing a new timing chain. Where's that old timing chain?
Right here.
So as some of you guys know, this is kind of a common issue with the ZX14Rs, but look at this timing chain. See how it's all kinked up? This is something very, very common with the ZX14Rs. So we opted to swap it out and just throw a new one in there so that, so it's nice and fresh. And the new one, as you guys can see, it's much more fluid, much more, just newer. So it's got,
annoying 'cause it keeps falling.
yeah, right. It's not supposed to be stiff. It's not supposed to have kinks, as you guys well know. Timing chain is supposed to be very fluid. It's supposed to be able to move freely, right? Like a wet noodle. So, but he got everything reassembled. We got a new gasket. Like I said, we got new head gasket in there. We got new seals. Everything is all brand new in there. So this thing's getting basically a refresh and top end, more or less. So that way when we put it all back together, it will be able to take the boost and not have any valve float or valve drop, anything like that. So we want to obviously prevent all of that. So once he gets done with the engine stuff, we're gonna do the oiling mods, and I do want to look at the clutch because something was slipping on the dyno, either the clutch or the tire, but my gut is telling me it was the clutch. So we might be replacing a clutch, we don't know yet. Once we start getting to that point, we start digging into it, we're gonna look at the plates, we're gonna measure them and see where we're at with all the thickness and everything like that, and kind of go from there as we're looking at the oiling mods, as we're going into there, rather, to look at the oil mods, to do the oil mods. All right, guys, we got the Turbo ZX14 all squared away. Sorry, Lewis is putting in the last bolt here for this cover, and I'll go over that real quickly here. So, as the bike was coming together, as the turbo kit was coming together, as you can see here, we'll show you real quick. We got a little bit of oil residue right here on the exhaust, okay? What ended up happening with this bike is Lewis got it out, took it outside, fired it up. Well, we started having oil and smoke coming out of the turbo, out of the exhaust. So I've been through quite a few of these builds, and you know, I'm like, all right, well, let's start looking at the oil feed and the oil drain setup, and let's see what's going on with it. So we went ahead and started going through it. We noticed there was a couple little minor things that were like, all right, let's fix this, let's fix this, let's fix this, right? In fairness, I kind of I kind of threw Lewis to the wolves here, and basically just had him do about 99.9% of this on his own, and let him kind of figure it all out. Well,
no clue what the fuck I'm doing.
yeah. So in fairness, you know, like I said, I did throw him to the wolves, and you know, I just kind of let him take the reins on it and let him do it. Make it the mistakes, you know, let him go through the process of it and go, all right, here, you know, here's what went wrong. So I was able to help some of the things. Now, interestingly enough, even the minor things that were wrong, you know, again, these were minor issues. It was like, all right, let's change this, right? Those minor issues got resolved. Well, we went to go fire the bike back up, and it was still pissing out oil and smoke. So then it became a real head scratcher where it's like, all right, something is not right. So long story short, we got on the phone with RCC, talked to Rich, and the cover here for the drain, the keyway on the gear got sheared. It doesn't happen often. It's a once in a blue moon kind of thing. And to be honest with you, you know, I've done personally probably, I don't even know, maybe 7, 8, 9 of these kits now through the years. And never have I ran into this. So it is something new for me as well. But anyway, the keyway on the oil scavenge here, the keyway ended up getting sheared completely off. So the gears are, the mechanism is per se is spinning, but the gears are not spinning. So in other words, the oil was backing up in the turbo and coming out of the exhaust. There's only so many places that the oil can go. So if you're feeding the turbo full of oil and you got all this pressure going into there, and there's no way, there's no drain happening, there's nothing sucking the oil out of the turbo, well, the only places for it to go is in the charge pipe going up into the plenum, or it's gonna come out the exhaust, or both. So anyway, we talked to Rich, he's been great, he was a great help on it all. So we got a new keyway, we got all that sent out, it's back, it's all together now, it's all back in the bike. So the bike's ready to go. So what we're gonna do next is I'm trying to play catch up. I just got back from a extended vacation, and I'm trying to catch up on all the dyno tuning that we have going on in the shop right now. So along with this bike, we have 2, 3, 4, we have 4 other bikes right now that I'm trying to get through, 4 other projects that we're trying to wrap up. So this is gonna be one of the bikes that's gonna go on the dyno here very soon. So once we get to that point, we're gonna pull this thing outside, triple, quadruple check everything, make sure it's running good, make sure the coolant's nice and bled, like everything is cooling down, everything is operating the way it should operate. Then it's gonna go on the dyno, making sure that at least the heat up stages are good, that it's not smoking anymore. Once we get to that point and we're all good to go, the bike will see the dyno, and we'll start going through the tuning process here real soon. All right guys, so we got the Turbo 14 on the dyno. Now again, this is our stage 1 kit. We are going to go over the numbers again with you guys really quickly. Here is the bike all turboed out. We will get it fired up here in just a little bit. I just got done doing the readout on the ECU. This was a Schnitz flashed ECU. Curve looks great. We did not get an air-fuel ratio because we knew we were gonna tune it anyway. We knew we were gonna throw it on the dyno. So we didn't get an air-fuel, but that's not a big deal. The bike made 183, which is actually, I know some of you guys out there are gonna scoff at it or whatever, make fun of it. Mine made 247 on pump gas. All right, but let's keep in mind, it was a stock motor. Now it has very mild upgrades in the motor. We did upgraded valve springs, new head gasket, things like that. We replaced some things in the motor, but we didn't really do anything to make more power. We just did it to make it more reliable and safe, like the oiling mods. It's got clutch mods now, or it had clutch mods, but we did the oiling mods. So now, going back to the power numbers though, this bike has like a 10-inch stretch on it. This thing's probably sitting at, I don't know, 68, 69-inch wheelbase. It's pretty long for a street bike. And not only that, but he's also on this Shinko hookup. So this hookup is gonna rob a ton of power on the dyno, okay? So for those of you guys who are on like a stock wheelbase with a full exhaust system and all that jazz, you know, you're gonna make more power even with less mods, just because you don't have a sticky tire that's really holding power back.
and you're also not stretched. The further out you go, the more horsepower you're gonna lose with that stretch. So, and again, this one's pretty far out. He's losing a good 15 to probably 17 horsepower from the stretch, all right? Normally on these bikes, on a Stage 1 turbo kit, on a stock wheelbase bike, we make about 260 wheel horsepower once all the tuning is all said and done. And that's on 4 pounds of boost on a Gen 2 ZX14R, as long as everything is mechanically sound, all right? Now this one, given the numbers, 17 wheel less, you're talking about what, 247 or so, 245. So if we can get them to 250, we did our job and we did it well. If we can get him to 245, anywhere from 245 to 249, he's right in range with where he needs to be, all right? And that's if we have no tire spin, stuff like that. So as we run this bike and as that tire gets sticky, it's gonna get hot and very, very sticky. So when it gets very, very sticky, it's gonna take away more power, things like that. So we gotta kind of make it quick. That's kind of why I might finish the tune tomorrow when I get in, just so we can have a nice fresh tire and get a real horsepower number, you know, on the 4-pound springs. So, but other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up this process so I can get access to the ECU, and we're gonna start tuning this thing and see what we can make out of it, all right? All right, guys, we put a base map in the bike. Let's see what it does. So we got done with the first couple of runs, but all in all, we're having a boost leak, and I didn't notice until we fired it up and started running it. And I'm gonna show you guys real quick. So because the airbox is the frame, let me get around that. Because the airbox is the frame, these bolts need to be in it. So it's getting later in the day, everyone's gone. I contacted our tech. We actually have replacement little grommets here, the rib nuts, the rubber rib nuts. So this one's okay. I just needed a bolt to fill it, which I'm gonna do that. And we have another one here on this side. This one's missing, it looks like the inside. Oh no, I see it, it's in there, but it's all kind of messed up. So if anything, we're gonna take this out, we're gonna replace this and put new ones in. But either way, we need to have the bolts that go in here. I don't know where this gentleman's bolt kit is. I tried to call the tech. He ended up not picking up. I called Lewis, he didn't pick up. So it's getting late in the day. So it's okay, it is what it is. But so far, even with the minor boost leaks that we have, we still produce, again, this is the very first run. We made 235 wheel with 136 pound-foot of torque. We have a very conservative tune in there, 10.97 at the big end. We're gonna lean that out a little bit more. I put some parameters in there to kind of keep it everything safe. So, but look at these gains, 176 to 232. We're picking up about 50 wheel horsepower gain there. You know, a little bit more than 50. It's about 56 wheel gain. Again, about 60 horsepower. That's pretty impressive. Here we have, let's say 180 to 235. Again, about 55 to, yeah, about 55, 56 wheel horsepower gains here. So massive gains already, even with a minor boost leak. And again, we're running it ultra safe. I mean, we could run this AFR a little bit leaner if we wanted to. This is just the baseline pull. This is our base map, all right? This is a base map, base map, base map. Now, let me say something real quick. I'm not gonna alter the map yet because we have a boost leak. Once we fix that boost leak, this number should lean out and the horsepower should jump up a little bit more. We're not leaking a ton of boost. It's not like we have a massive major boost leak, but we definitely have a boost leak and we're en route to making that 245 wheel, like I said, what we would hope to get. So if we can get anything above that, great. But ultimately, I'd love to see around 240 to 245 horsepower. So we're gonna throw some bolts in here tomorrow. It's running later in the day now. I gotta shut it down. So we're gonna throw some bolts in there, get this boost level up a little bit more, clean up the tune, and then we're gonna send it. So But yeah, not bad so far. All right, guys, so it's the following morning. We got the bike all started up, we got it warmed up, and we got the bolts in the grommets now, or in the riv nuts. So we're gonna go ahead and do another pull here, and then we'll go ahead and make some changes to the tune. But I just want to make sure now that we have the little boost leaks resolved, I want to make sure that everything looks good on the air fuel and all that before we make some changes. So we're going to go ahead, get this set up, and do some runs. So we got that ZX14R, we got it all wrapped up. I'm still standing on the dyno with it, but I just wanted to show you, this is where we're gonna end at. It's a super conservative tune. We got some timing pulled out, you know, we got it richened up. We got our Stage 2 ZX14R turbo bike getting ready to get on the dyno next. But for right now, we got this one all wrapped up. So I wanted to go over the numbers with you guys, and here we go. So this is how we came in, making 183 wheel with 104 pound-foot of torque. Now this was on the motor, guys. This is a stock motor with the stretch, with the shinko hookup. Basically, as you see it, as it sits just like this, okay? So we're gonna clean this all up before he leaves, but this is how the bike came in, with the way this set up like this. And we didn't change any of the chassis setup or the chain or the gearing or anything. All we did was we did the Stage 1 turbo kit with a few of the other little mods that we do, and that's really it. So at top end here, you know, we went from 178, this is at 9,700 RPM. We went from 178 to 250 wheel, which is a 72 horsepower gain. This is a 72 wheel horsepower gain up top, which is absolutely monumental for this bike. And then we have our wheel torque here. We went from 96 pound-foot of torque to 135, so that's roughly 39 pound-foot of torque. Again, guys, just insane gains on this bike. Now that's at the top end. You know, we can pick a lower point here. We're still at 57 wheel horsepower gain here at 7,600 RPM. And let's see, the wheel torque, we're about 40 pound-foot of wheel torque gains. Again, just massive gains. This 111 to 146, we're at 35 wheel gain there. Roughly the same on torque. So again, just insane amount of gain across the board. Now, again, this is our Stage 1 kit, okay? We ended at 250. Now remember, we typically end around 260 wheel horsepower with these bikes. With this bike being stretched and the shinko hookup on it, we're taking a lot of power away. We're probably taking around easily 10 horsepower. I would guesstimate closer to 15 to 17 wheel loss based on the stretch and the tires. So given that we still made 250 wheel, I mean, that's gonna put us around let's say 260 on the low end to about 267 on the high end. So, and this is on pump gas, guys. This is on a 93 pump gas tune. This is not, and it's got pump gas in it. This is not anything special. This is straight out of the pump. So nothing crazy going on. And yeah, so if you guys are interested in our Stage 1, we got these things down like a science. You know, again, this took 4 or 5 pulls to get it down and get it mapped out. So we got this thing down. We got this game down pretty stout. So our Stage 2 kit, that one we're still getting figured out on the Max Mini. I know a lot of you guys have been asking about it. We're still getting through it. The tuning portion of it, phenomenal. We're having a slight issue with keeping the idle consistent, and that's it. But we're working on that currently, just to let you guys know. And we should have a solution with that very soon, because we are gung-ho about it. We're trying to get it wrapped up for this other customer. It's a badass build. We're really enjoying it. But if you guys are interested in any of this, please give us a shout. We love doing these turbo builds. Give us a shout, 813-908-3278. That's 813-908-3278. fast. So let us know. We're located in Tampa, Florida, and we've got that question a lot. We are located in Tampa, Florida. Look us up online. Our website is www.provenpowercycles.com. The next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna dress it up. We're gonna have the owner come in, and we're gonna let him go for a test drive, and we'll get a testimony for you guys, all right? There it goes, all right. All in all, though, how it felt good?
It's awesome, bro.
Smooth.
To be honest with you, well, that's the thing. It just comes in.
Yeah, right.
Start singing to you, and then all of a sudden you don't even realize you moving.
Yeah, that's the best part. You're rolling in, you're like, oh shit, this thing's pulling.
I mean, I hit it a couple of times because you go up there, you got a little stretchy, and then the honest part about it is it's smooth though. It's not even it's not like
it's not jerky.
Yeah,
it
like
don't
I was
slam
thinking
you.
that it was gonna be like pulling like that, but it's just, and then it starts singing, and then all of a sudden it's just
that's the best part about it, is how smooth these things are once they're turbo. Like everyone thinks it's this crazy, you know, like it's gonna
totally
slam
opposite.
you, you know.
Totally opposite of what I would have thought.
Yeah, right.
It's almost I mean, unless you have one and ride it, you can't understand. It's just, but it's wicked. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. It'll move. It'll get up and go. So, and this is our stage 2 right here next to it. This one's on a max ECU with a stock dash. Yeah, guys, so we have our stage 2 right here, and then our stage 1. So again, this one just laid out 340, but the focus on this video is this guy's right here. And this one laid out 250 wheel. Again, that's with the stretch, the Shinko hookup. This one's on a Q5, shorter wheelbase. So street tire, shorter wheelbase. This one's a little longer wheelbase, and on a drag tire, if you will. So, you know, those are the major differences. So, but all in all, still very peppy, as you guys heard it. Very, very peppy. This is going to be extremely peppy. It's going to be a lot for the street, you know, for your normal driving. This is definitely more so for your average rider, I guess you could say, your average street rider. So, but there you guys have it. All right, guys, well, there you have it. We got the bike all wrapped up. The owner's super happy. You heard what he was saying. The bike was just so smooth. You know, the power is seamless. It just rolls into it. And I wanted to add something as well. I don't know if we went over it in the video or not, but that gearing was actually 1739, which factory gear is 1742. So he's down 3 teeth in the rear, and he's still like, man, the bike just pulls so seamless. It's so smooth. I love it. So, you know, made 250, not bad at all on pump gas. That's really well for that setup, like we already said a few times now. But if you guys are interested in a kit like this, let us know. Give us a call at 813-908-3278 or 813-908-FAST. All right. We do these things all the time. We had our stage 2 that's on the way out right now. We actually got to get it dressed up, you know, get the fairings cut and all that stuff for the turbo, and get it all dressed and then cleaned up, and it's ready for pickup as well. So we love these things. That's actually the only one on a max ECU with a stock dash that we know of. So now I know some of you guys out there, you might correct us. That's the one right there. But as far as we know, that is the only one that we know of on a max ECU with a stock dash. You know, we have a 2-stage map basically on it, and made 240 on low boost, something like that. On high boost, it made 340. But anyway, if you guys are interested in any of these kits, let us know. That's like our stage 2 kit, and that this blue one that you saw is like our stage 1 kit. Okay, so if you guys are interested, please let us know. Also visit us on our website, www.provenpowercycles.com, and you could submit inquiries through there if you guys are interested in ECU flashing, dyno tuning, turbo kits, nitrous kits, motor builds, whatever you guys are interested in. Let us know. We're here for you. Other than that, we really appreciate it. Drop a comment down below. Tell us what you think of the video. Tell us what you think about what the bike made. What do you think about Turbo 14Rs? Where do you see the industry going for these? They're starting to become really popular. We're seeing a ton of them in this shop. So You know, let's have a discussion about it, guys. Comment down below. If you haven't done so already, like and share this video. Share it to some friends. Let them know what we're doing here. Show them some cool stuff. And, you know, if they're interested in doing turbo stuff, let them know. Send this over to them. So other than that, we appreciate it. Subscribe. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. We'll see you on another episode.